Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for your patience as I was sick the past few weeks, which I am going to talk about because there was a reason for it, just like there's a reason for everything. So we're going to do a reading today as long as my voice holds out, as long as I don't cough. We will be back with a Sacred Union energy update later this week. We will be back with extended reading for Patreon subscribers, as well as a pick a pile later this week, as soon as I'm feeling better. But that is in the books for this week, so make sure that you stay tuned to both channels for that. And client readings, I will continue those starting on Monday. So thank you guys so much for your patience. There's been a lot going on in the collective, and I've been getting a lot of downloads, even as I've been in this kind of rest and recovery mode from this cold that I've had. And like I said before, this cold is not a coincidence. So I'm going to go over some of the channel messages that I've gotten. A lot of downloads coming in this week, a lot. So the first thing that they told me, they actually said this to me last night as I was laying in bed resting, trying to figure out, well, not figure out, but just kind of meditating and asking my spirit team, what is going on? What is the purpose of all of this? And now this is on a macro scale and on a micro scale. So on the world stage and on your own stage, as far as your own individual life. So you might be, experiencing any hardship, any struggle within your own life. But on a macro scale, obviously, with the coronavirus, we are experiencing a lot as well. And so what they gave me was that everything is being illuminated, that clarity is pouring in. Now, on a micro scale, this is with regards to your connection. This is with regards to your own life path, life purpose, your own soul growth and expansion. A couple of weeks ago, when I was with my Divine Masculine, we've been going through, individually, we've been going through some difficult times. Him with some stuff that he's dealing with, me with, if you guys have been following me for a while, stuff with my own financial situation with regards to my illness. There are a lot of blessings that have been pouring in this past week with regards to that, and I'm very, very grateful and grateful to all of you who have helped me and contributed. That information is in the description box below if you are interested in continuing to support me and to support this channel, which I will always, always appreciate. But when I was with my Divine Masculine, you're healing together now. You really are. No matter if you're in separation or if you are in physical proximity and communication together, you are actually healing together now. And what they had told me was that it is a time for healing, not a time for romance and relationship. That is coming. That will come. That is natural. Whether it's with your person, with your Divine Masculine, or whether it's with a soulmate, that romance that you're looking for, if you're ready for connection, if you're ready for relationship, that will come, because every relationship teaches us something. Every relationship shows us something. And if you are ready for a romantic relationship, maybe that is going to show you what it is that you deserve, what it is that you want. Or maybe it's going to show you contrast, but it's going to teach you something. So every relationship that you have teaches you something, is there for a purpose, is there for a reason. So with your divine counterpart, it is a time for healing. Now, again, I want to be clear. If you're looking for romance, if you're looking for relationship and partnership, that is coming in. Some of you will be with your Divine Masculine. Some of you will be with another soulmate that you're calling in. So understand that there's nothing to be afraid of if it means another soulmate connection. Because that soulmate connection is not going to be better or worse than your Divine Masculine, than your person. It's just going to be like, you're going to be happy. Allow yourself to be happy. And if you're feeling triggered by that, if you're feeling a sense of fear, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to let go of my Divine Masculine, I don't want to let go of this person, then number one, there's still attachment there. And number two, that's still healing for you to do. Because you need to be happy. You deserve to be happy. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to be happy with the person, your Divine Masculine, your person, the person that you want to be happy with. It doesn't mean that. It just means that maybe there's somebody else who's going to teach you something before the relationship with your Divine Masculine comes into being. Now, that's for a select few of you. So take it as it resonates. If it's not resonating with you, if it is causing that fear, if it's triggering you, then disregard it, because that just means that it's not your story. But the collective is actually pouring into different segments. There's becoming different groups within the collective now. And some are coming into union with their person, with their divine masculine, into physical relationship. And there are some who are moving into soulmate connections. So just follow the resonance of your heart, follow your own intuition. What is it that brings you joy? What is it that brings you happiness? Allow yourself to be happy in either connection. And if your connection feels unhealthy, or if your connection doesn't feel like it's bringing you that happiness, if it feels like there's still that toxicity and that like that devil energy, then you can release that. And you releasing that will either bring you into more harmony with your divine masculine, or will bring in that soulmate connection. But it's almost like it's splintering into two different segments now. So take it as it resonates for you. Do not let that trigger you. Or if it does trigger you, ask yourself why, and work on yourself, work on healing that, because you do deserve to be happy. Okay, but they did say it was a time of healing. And so this is going to be for the both of you, because remember, you and your divine masculine, you are actually healing together, whether you are together or whether you are separated. And I use those in quotation marks. Because both things are happening. You're actually, as that one soul, as divine counterparts, no matter what, you are healing together. So the romance is coming. I know we all want that. The romance is coming. The relationship is coming. The commitment is coming. Commitment towards connection, commitment towards each other, even commitment in the traditional sense, if that's what you're looking for, as far as relationship. That whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, whatever it is that your heart desires, that is coming. But this is truly a time of healing, and it is a great time of healing as far as a great purge is happening. The Pisces new moon, I called it the Great Purge, but that wasn't a coincidence, because that's really what was happening. There is a lot of toxicity, low vibrational energy, negative energy, fear that is coming up in the collective consciousness at this time. And what we're actually doing is we are purging this. It's karma, it's fear, it's that low vibrational energy that we are truly purging and getting rid of. So, okay. What's happening now with this is that it's a time of building a new foundation. So as you clear out that karma, as you clear out that toxicity, you and your divine counterpart are actually creating a new foundation for yourselves, for each other. Because after the tower comes the building from the ground up. The tower falls, the dust settles, your world gets flipped upside down. But from that flipping upside down, when the dust settles, you receive that clarity. Remember when I started this, we talked about everything is illuminated? You receive new clarity. You see things from a new perspective. Maybe the tower was actually blocking your view of a beautiful new horizon, of where you're actually headed. And so that tower had to crumble. And with it, the crumbling of the tower comes that clarity. This is all about connection. So, on that note, there is and has been an intense longing between counterparts for intimacy. This is both emotional intimacy and physical and sexual intimacy. And remember, intimacy is affection. It is acknowledgement of each other. It is feeling seen and feeling heard. It is connection. It is a bonding between the two. It's not just about sexuality. It is also about feeling connected. So there has been this longing for each other, and a longing, I'm also hearing, for something more. And with that, that's actually a part of the healing that's happening. But when it comes to the full-fledged partnership and the relationship, we're still in the foundational phase of the new beginning. Because remember, we actually spent a year or two completing the karma. We spent a year or two, the past year or two, especially 2019, which we have channeled before, really shifting in consciousness, really transforming into these sovereign beings with our divine masculine and divine feminine energies, union within the self. And now it's time to come into partnership with the other person. And if it feels like it's not time, or they're not ready, then you might be furthering your own union within by experiencing union without with a soulmate connection. Remember, soulmates also teach us something. So I'm going to get into that in another reading. We'll talk more about soulmates and divine counterparts in another reading, because I'm getting a lot of downloads right now, and I feel like I want to clarify that, but I don't want to go too far into that because I want to get into the reading itself. But remember that everyone teaches us something, and it very well could be that the person that you thought was your person was just a catalyst or was just teaching you something. And this soulmate connection is your true person. Again, if that is triggering you, if that is causing fear within you, disregard it. I know there was a long time when I was watching readings and that message was coming through and it caused a lot of fear within me. That was because I had a lot of attachment to my person, and that was also because I know within my heart that my person is my person. And even when I go within now, I know, and even if I don't want my person to be my person, if there's struggles and challenges going on within us or within our connection, I still know that he's my person. It doesn't mean I'm not open to soulmate connections. That could be friendships too, you guys. A soulmate connection does not have to be a romantic relationship. It could be friendships. It could be family members. It could be work partnerships, colleagues that are meant to teach you perhaps something that your divine counterpart can't show you. Soulmate connections are not just romantic relationships. But I know that that used to trigger a huge fear in me, and now I've become open, and it has released the pressure between me and my divine counterpart. I still believe my divine counterpart is my divine counterpart, but it's the unfolding that I'm allowing to happen, especially if the romance is not there for me and my divine counterpart. So I know I might not be making sense. To some of you, it might be. For the rest of you, just disregard it. We'll get into that in a different reading. So continuing. So we've been shifting in consciousness. We've been transforming it into these, with this union within the self. And now we're actually creating union with our partnership. But transformation and healing is actually still occurring within the connection as a whole. So in other words, we've been transforming within ourselves, and now our connection without is transforming. Now our physical connection is actually transforming. And there's clarity being had for both counterparts like never before. The mind is starting to become clear again. The attachment, you're releasing the attachment, you're releasing that pressure on the connection, you're releasing that need for the connection. And that's why you're being more open to these other connections, because you know that you're expanding, you know that you're growing, and you know that you can't remain in stagnant energy. And a lot of us, especially divine feminines, were in this cycle of stagnant energy where you didn't feel like you were growing anymore within the connection. You were still healing little by little, but you didn't feel like you were growing, because remember, when you're loved well, when you love and when you love well, that is when you grow, that is when you blossom. And if you weren't receiving that reciprocity from your divine masculine, either because they are not your true counterpart or because they aren't able to give that to you at this time because they have to focus on their own healing, remember it's a time of healing, not romance, then that's when you have to really love yourself enough to ask yourself the tough questions, the honest questions. Am I just holding myself back in this connection at this time? Doesn't mean it's not going to continue to unfold, because this journey is ever unfolding. But at this time, are you holding yourself back? And why are you holding yourself back? What is holding yourself back? Are you just holding yourself back? Rather than looking outside of yourself and saying, this is an obstacle, this is a challenge, this is what's keeping me from my divine counterpart. Is there something within you that's holding you back? These are all honest questions that you have to ask yourself. And you have to ask yourself these questions in order to move forward, because this is always a journey of forward motion. You can't go back. You're always moving forward, because this journey is always unfolding. And it's a tough question. It's really something that you have to be really gentle and honest with yourself about, because you do deserve to grow. You do deserve that expansive energy. You do deserve love and to experience love, because again, that is when you grow, when you nourish the connection and the connection is nourished. It's that, we talk about this all the time, it's the infinity sign. It's the equal flow of love. There is no break in an infinity sign, in that the infinity symbol. There is no break. It's constantly flowing. Love is constantly flowing between you two. And if you feel like it's not flowing, then are you getting what you deserve? Are you getting, and not what you deserve as in like, I deserve this, and like in a very forceful way. It's just a flow of knowing that I'm giving And I should be open to receiving as well. I should be allowing myself to receive as well. And if you feel like you're not receiving to the extent that you're giving, look at, are you over giving? Are you not maintaining your boundaries? Or are you not open to receiving? Or are you not receiving from somebody because they're not able to give to you? Those are all questions that you have to ask yourself. And when you're looking, when you're welcoming in another soulmate, it's not looking for another person to fill in the gaps. It's just accepting, allowing another person to come in to help you, learn, to help you grow in a way that maybe you weren't in this connection at this time. That doesn't mean that you and your divine counterpart aren't going to reunite, aren't going to come together. It just means you being open and allowing any other connection to come in and teach you or show you or love you the way you are meant to be loved, the way you know that you deserve to be loved. And remember, worth is a big lesson on this journey. And you are worthy of love. And so that might be a lesson that another soulmate is coming in to teach you before you're ready for a divine counterpart connection. Now, again, and I keep saying this because I know this is going to be a big trigger for a lot of you, and it's not going to resonate for a lot of you. The majority of my collective, the person that they believe is their divine counterpart is their divine counterpart, and they will come into union. They are already coming into union with their divine person. But there is a smaller segment that is being open to soulmate connections because their person isn't ready. And what that actually means is you're not truly ready. There's something inside of you that has to learn, and somebody else can teach you. So there's a lot of nuance here. So really feel within your heart space, sit with yourself for a while, feel within your heart space, and see the truth of your experience. See the truth of your connection. And you can only do that by going into your own heart, allowing yourself to trust your own connection and your own intuition, and see what is there, see what the truth of your connection is. You cannot listen to anybody else. You cannot listen to the outside world. That is 3D, that is illusion, that is distraction, that is interference. You can only trust what is in your heart. You know what your connection is by what is in your heart. Okay, so I'm going to continue with some more messages because there's a lot. So like I said, there's some major purging and releasing of toxic energy within the collective at this time. And if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, which I do suggest because I post a lot of essays and readings there as well, I posted recently that I came to an understanding that this cold that I have, these physical symptoms, was a major physical purge of toxic energy, releasing attachments, releasing just any toxic energy, releasing any low vibrational energy that was all around me within this connection. And I'm not saying my divine counterpart is not toxic. Your divine counterpart is not toxic. But some of the karma that comes up between you creates a toxic environment. It creates an unhealthy environment. And so that's when you heal together. And if you can't heal together, that's when you heal in so-called separation, but you're still healing together because your energies are still healing. You might just be doing it on individual paths right now. It's like this. It's like, because you're one, you'll always be healing together, but you might not be doing it in physical proximity, where you can actually see each other doing the healing. For some of you who actually are coming together and communicating and having conversations, this is triggering me. Okay, why is this triggering you? Oh, okay, I understand this. Here's the solution. You're figuring out together, you're healing together. For some of you, you're actually doing this. For some of you, you're actually healing apart. But you're still healing together because it's the energy. It's the energetics of it. But what's happening is there's a lot of releasing that is happening at this time. You're not letting go of your person. You're not letting go of the love. You're not letting go of the connection. You're just releasing the toxic energy that was created from the karma that has come up from the healing. This is ancestral lines. This is lineage. This is legacy. This is childhood wounds. This is past lifetime wounds. This is karma that was created within this lifetime. False beliefs, patterns, addictions, things like that. This is all karma that's coming up that might look like toxic energy between you two, but it's actually just coming up to be healed. So for me, it manifested in an actual physical cold, in a physical, like flu-like energy. But I also went through a process of ascension these past 2 weeks where I have upgraded massively in my gifts. And when I was doing readings a couple of weeks ago, I had a beautiful, profound reading for a client. which was like of another caliber. And I've been channeling dragons for maybe about a year to half a year, something like that. And a dragon came through in her reading. And what they showed me was a beautiful black dragon, um, burning fire, setting fire all around. And what they channeled to me was this dragon was setting fire to all of the negative energy, all the toxicity around my client. And it was so beautiful, and that stuck with me. And I understood that that is what's happening. What's burning away is all of this toxic energy. And it's coming up in the form of physical manifestation. Could be in the form of illness, could be in the form of arguments, could be in the form of grief. Whatever it is a major, major purge that is happening to release karma, to release toxic energies so that we can continue in the process of ascension in an energy of more love, more light, and more truth and clarity. Okay, and the last message that I got was last night. And what they said to me was divine feminines, particularly, are releasing codependency. Both parties are actually releasing codependency. Divine masculines are releasing codependency on family members or friends, or even on you, divine feminines, if they have turned to you a lot for their needs to be met. Divine feminines have released that codependency on their divine masculine in the past. Take it as it resonates for you. You might still be releasing that. But what divine feminines are actually releasing now within my collective is a codependency on wanting to help their divine masculine heal. What's happening now is divine feminines, you might feel like you are detaching from your divine masculine and this connection in a way that you hadn't before. Now, again, it's not detaching in a way of resentment. It's not detaching in a way of, I don't want this person, I don't like this person, he's not my person, because that's an energy of resentment. That's an energy of control. That's an energy of, well, if he doesn't want me, then I don't want him. It's not that at all. This is an energy of an understanding. This is an energy of, I know this is my person. I love my person unconditionally, but I'm releasing the connection. I'm releasing this energy, this toxic energy that comes between us. I'm releasing the karma so that you can have, remember we talked about a foundation where it talked about the new beginning? That's a tower that's been crumbling. You're releasing the need to heal your divine masculine, allowing your divine masculine to have the strength and courage to heal him or herself. Because as they have the courage to heal him or herself, what's happening is they're being allowed to rise. And if you guys have been on the channel with me for a while, I'm going to try to find the video. We talked about this a couple of weeks or a couple of months ago. What's happening is, divine feminines, you are staying in your sovereign strength. You are in your power. You are in your energy. You're in your confidence. You are moving forward within your life. You are ready for the next phase of your life. You are just leveling up in a beautiful, beautiful way. And you should be so proud, because that is a testament to the healing work that you have done. Divine masculines are doing the same work. It might look different because they don't process the same way as you, divine feminines, but they are doing the same work. They are doing the same releasing. But you, divine feminines, have to let go of the need to see that transformation and the need to help heal your divine masculines. You have been helping your divine masculines to heal throughout this entire journey by sending them love, by sending them compassion, and even by doing energetic healing work for them. And I'm so grateful for that, because that has helped me to ascend, that has helped me to awaken. But now divine masculines are at a level where they are doing that themselves. And divine feminines, you have to release a codependency of feeling like you need to heal them and feeling like you need to fix them. Because now divine masculines are waking up to their own power. They are rising into their sovereign energy, and they're not paying any attention to interference. They're not paying any attention to influence. They're rising into their power, where they are looking at their own life for themselves, taking accountability, taking ownership, taking responsibility. And because they're taking ownership and responsibility for themselves, their life, they're taking responsibility for their own healing. And as they do this, because you're staying in your power, almost like you're in your lane and they're in their lane, and as you do that, that's when the lanes merge. That's when the lanes merge. And you might not be able to see it quite yet because you're in your lane, which you have to focus on your life. You have to focus on your lane. You can't be looking over the hedge at their garden. You know, we talked about this as well. They had given me the metaphor of a garden. You guys are working on the same garden because you are divine counterparts. That's one soul. You're that same garden. But if you were both focused on one patch of the garden, then you would be neglecting the rest of it. So, divine feminines, you have your patch of the garden. Divine masculines, you have the other patch. And what they had shown me, what they're showing me again now is now both patches are blossoming, both patches are blooming, especially coming into spring. Spring being a pivotal, the next season, I should say, no matter what part of the world that you're in, the next season is a pivotal phase in your relationship. It's blooming. And so now what's happening is you're both standing back together, embracing each other, and looking at this beautiful garden that you have created. That is this connection. That's what we talked about, the time for healing. And as you heal, that's when you come into that romance. That's when you come into that relationship. But you have to focus on your lanes because that's when you converge. You have to focus on your own individual patches of the garden so that you don't neglect. So that you don't neglect yourself is what I'm hearing. So I hope all of that is making sense. So divine masculine is really rising. They are really learning to trust themselves over the influence of anybody else. They're really learning to trust themselves over, this is what they're also giving me. If there are influences, they're not in a place of either listening to influence or being defensive against influence. By which I mean, if somebody's telling them not to do something, they're not automatically doing the opposite just by defiance. They're not in a defiance energy anymore, or they're learning not to be in a defiant energy anymore because they're learning to trust themselves and they're learning to take other people's insight to heart, to consider it, but ultimately to trust their own intuition, ultimately to trust their own path, ultimately to trust themselves. So it's not an energy of agreeability where they're just agreeing for the sake of agreeing at the sacrifice of themselves. And they're not in an energy of defiance. They're in an energy of balance, honoring other people, saying thank you, I'll consider it, but ultimately trusting yourself and following your own path. That's what the divine masculine is learning, and that's how they're coming into their power. And as they come into their power, they're meeting you, divine feminines, where you are. Now, when I say meeting you where you are, there's not like an unequal balance here. Divine feminines, you are not above divine masculines. Divine masculines, you are not below divine feminines. But you're meeting each other where you are. You're meeting each other in this harmony. It's leveling out. It's almost like things were a little bit uneven, but now it's leveling out. Okay, so that's it for the channel messages. I know that was a lot. I told you guys, I was getting a ton of downloads and I couldn't channel this week because I was so sick. You can still hear it in my voice. I've been so sick, but there was a purpose for that illness for me because it was a massive, massive physical, emotional, and mental purge on all levels. But I was getting so many, channel messages. So we're going to clarify that later, some of the messages. Let me know if you guys need clarification in the comment box below, and I will do like a Q&A and try to clarify, try to translate better, try to articulate better. But let's get some messages for the counterparts and see what's going on. I'm going to use some oracle cards here today and see what's going on for the connection itself. And again, take what resonates for you, disregard what doesn't. Always trust your own intuition. Blessed. Yeah, what did I say? There are blessings that are coming. This is a season of blessings. I've been experiencing that in my own life where miracles are starting to come in. And you're going to start seeing this within your connection as well. They're pointing me to the 22. This is partnership. This is coming into harmony. This is coming into partnership. And here's the thing. You guys can have a choice. You can choose to look at this journey as something that is fearful, that's something that is pain and suffering, or you can choose to look at this journey as something that is a blessing because of how you grow, because of how you transform, and because of the love that comes into your life. One of my best friends recently said to me that I'm a creator, that I build, and from every experience that I've had in my life that has seemed negative, including my illness, including loss and death that I've faced, losing people, I've turned that around to create something, to build something. You can either destroy or you can build and create. If you're destroying, look at the beliefs that has you thinking that you need to destroy. Look at the beliefs and the patterns in your life. Become a creator. You are a creator. You are a master manifester. You are magical. You are powerful. You are divine. You are a creator at your heart. As soul, you are a creator. That is your natural ability. That is your birthright. It's just the pain and the suffering that you've experienced that has made you believe that you destroy. That's made you believe that you want to burn everything down. That's made you believe that you can't create. But you are a creator. Turn your thought process around. There are blessings to be had. Focus on the positive. What you focus on is what you manifest. What you bring into your awareness is what you manifest. There are blessings here. Focus on the blessings. And they're pointing me to this. This is a nautilus shell, or she might be a mermaid or something, but it looks like a nautilus shell here. If you guys can see that. That is the deeper and deeper understanding, the awareness of self. And the more you understand yourself, the more you understand your truth, the more you understand your divinity, the more you understand your love, the more you're able to focus on the blessings, because you are truth, because you are love, because you are light, because you are blessed. It's an awareness of self that brings about an understanding of your connection, of the journey, and of life and the world itself. Becoming more aware of the self. Anything else we need to know? We have yin and we have mending. Yin is a divine feminine energy. And here's what's interesting about this. With the mending, here's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like divine masculine energy here is mending their feminine energy. I feel like that, because remember, you hold both energies within you. Divine masculine does hold divine feminine energy within them as well, just like you, divine feminines, hold divine masculine energy within you. There is a distortion there, however. And I feel like the divine masculine, particularly, is mending or healing the distortion within their own divine feminine energy. Now, this can be playing out in how they view feminine energy in their outside world. This could be mother figures, this could be relationships, this could be friendships, this could be, if they have a karmic partner. This could be any kind of feminine energy within or in their outside world, but it's because of the distorted feminine energy that they hold within themselves. But I feel like they're healing that, and as they heal that, they're going to be viewing the feminine differently, the feminine aspect of themselves, and the female or feminine energies in their outside world are going to start to be mended. The relationships with their feminine energies are going to start to be mended. And naturally, as that feminine energy is mended, for them, it's going to be mended within your connection. Okay. That feels a little bit convoluted. My head, it's a very important message because my ears just got clogged, and that's what happens when, I'm getting a very powerful download. So I want to repeat this. This is divine masculine energy that's coming through here. The divine masculine energy also holds feminine energy. And for a very long time, they suppressed that. They suppressed their own feminine energy. It was because divine masculine energy was so entrenched in the patriarchy, where they had to man up, where they couldn't express their emotions, they couldn't cry, they couldn't feel. So it was a lot of the time, the masculine really blocked off their heart. If you go back through my timeless readings here on the channel, especially over this past summer, we talked a lot about how the heart for the divine masculine was really kind of frozen, but that they were breaking through. It was like a floodgate was breaking through, and they were actually feeling their emotions. That's their feminine energy that is rising. There was a lot of distortion there. And because there was a lot of distortion there, because of what they had experienced in life, even past life situations, because of what they had experienced, false beliefs, patterns, the way they grew up, they not only suppressed their feminine energy, but they had a distorted view of feminine energy. This was, again, mother figures, This was relationships, romantic relationships, friendships. If they, even children, you know, even their inner child energies, as children, there was a lot of, they viewed the feminine energy in a distorted way because of their own energy within them. That is being healed at this time, where they are really embracing their emotions, honoring their emotions, honoring their connection with the females or feminine energies within their lives. And as they heal those connections within themselves and heal those connections without themselves in those relationships, they're also naturally going to be mending their relationship with you, because you are the embodiment of feminine energy. You are divine feminine energy. And they had not experienced divine feminine energy before. They had only experienced distorted feminine energy. And so that scared them a little bit. But as they are embracing feminine energy, as they're healing the distortions and rising into their divinity, they're healing the divine feminine energy with you within the connection. Okay, that felt very convoluted. I hope it made sense to you guys. I do apologize if I'm not very clear today. This is the first time I'm channeling in 2 weeks. And the energies here, I just want to make sure I'm articulating correctly. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a couple of tarot cards and see where the connection is, and then we're going to close out. So what do we need to know? There is healing happening right now. They really want me to emphasize this. There's healing energy happening right now within the connection between you and your divine masculine, because the divine masculine is healing the feminine energy within them and within their outside relationships with feminine energy. Okay, I hope that was abundantly clear. All right, so, oh boy. Yeah, okay. The block is coming down. The blindfold is coming off. Remember when I said everything is illuminated? They are becoming much more clear because they are letting down the guard of their heart, taking off the blindfold, pulling the wool off of their eyes, and not allowing any deceptive energy, influence, distractions, illusions to intervene with their healing, intervene with this connection, and intervene with their own sense of self and power and divinity. That feels like a separate message, so I'm going to put that up there. All right, what's happening within this connection, Spirit? Yeah, they're going within. So some divine masculines, you might have little or no communication at this time. There might have been a period of separation. They might have withdrawn, but it's because they're really going within in order to unblock their heart, in order to see clearly. This feels like it's in reverse. This is where they were not able to see clearly, because you see how they're just blocking their heart and they have that blindfold there. They were not able to see clearly because of so much. There were outside influences, there were obstacles, there were addictions, there were false beliefs, but this is what is mending. They are actually finding clarity now, and it's because they're going within and following their own star, their own inner heart, their own intuition, and you're their North Star. Your energy is leading them. So even divine feminines, if you have kind of detached and withdrawn your own energy from the connection, you're still connected with your divine counterpart. You're always connected with your divine counterpart. You don't have to actively be sending love and compassion and healing energy their way for them to feel that love and compassion and healing energy. That's what they're doing. They're following their own inner light, which is you. Because you are so merged, because you are so connected, there is no separation between you two. Yeah. This is going to cause them to take action. The Chariot is really taking control, really taking the reins of your life for success, to move forward towards success with balance as well. Divine feminine, divine masculine energy represented here in equal balance and equal harmony. And it feels like this is divine masculine ready for equal harmony, ready to take the reins and just move forward towards building their life. Remember when we talked about destroying versus building and creating? That's this energy right here. And it's because they're really taking the time to go within, to receive that clarity, to take the blindfold off, to unblock their heart, to unguard their heart to this connection, where they're really ready to take the reins for their life, to move forward here. And again, like I said, you are really guiding them. You don't have to be in an energy of constantly messaging them or showing them compassion or guiding them in a physical, tangible way. They're feeling that energetically. They're feeling that naturally because you are one. You don't even have to energetically be sending them. I used to send my divine masculine, sorry guys, I used to send my divine masculine Care Bear like stare energy, you know, of love and compassion and strength, you know, when I felt like he needed it. But I don't do that anymore because he naturally will feel that. He will naturally feel that from me. You don't have to be active in the healing anymore. Focus that energy back on yourself. Focus that energy back on yourself because that love will always exist between you two. You're always guiding each other. You're always guiding each other home. Sorry about my dogs. Okay, let's get another card and see what else is going on for the connection. Yeah, King of Cups. What is he moving towards? This feels like divine masculine energy. What is he moving towards? Becoming illuminated. Where his life might have turned upside down, he's breaking free because of this. He's breaking free. He's getting clarity. He's going within and he's turning his life right side up again. Removing himself from the conflict, removing himself from outside influences, removing himself from any drama. He doesn't want the drama anymore. Neither do you, Divine Feminine. You're both freeing yourselves and having a new perspective. And what is this new perspective? That you can take control, that you can take authority for yourself, that you have the power to allow your emotions, to feel your emotions, to not guard your heart anymore. And Divine Masculine especially is feeling into their emotions with this King of Cups. And hold on, there's something else here. So, okay, so what is he, there's that tower that we talked about, the crumbling down. What is he looking at? What is he looking towards? He's looking towards completing the cycle of self-deception. Where before he might have been imbalanced in his emotions, before he might have been holding himself back, before he might have been not speaking the truth of his emotions, not being clear in his emotions with you, he's ending that cycle because he sees you as the world, because he wants to bring you the world, because he wants this new cycle for himself. He's becoming clear on his self-deception, where he was just putting a blindfold over his eyes, where he was just guarding himself. Now he is allowing his emotions, allowing himself to speak his emotions, gaining more clarity, removing himself. Remember when I said removing himself from any conflict? Removing himself from any self-deception or any deception as a whole. There could be other people involved here, third parties involved here, where he's removing himself from that, taking his experiences, taking his lessons that he's learned, and moving away from any deception, any outside influences, any addictions, any toxic energy here, because he wants that completion to the Two of Cups. He's moving away from toxic energy in order to come forward towards this connection, because again, he wants the world. He wants a new cycle. He wants his connection with his Divine Feminine. There it is, Queen of Cups, bottom of the deck. Who is he looking towards? I knew it. I was looking at his eyes and I said, he's looking towards somebody. He's looking towards something. He's looking towards leaving behind any deception, leaving behind any pain, any drama, any heartache, any toxicity, ending that cycle of self-deception. These two cards came out together to move towards the Two of Cups, to move towards his Queen of Cups. He's looking at Divine Feminine. You guys are looking at each other here. Look at this. You guys are looking at each other here. Willing, wanting to communicate and express your love towards each other. All right, I'm going to get a quick update on Divine Feminines. Let's get this deck. What's going on with Divine Feminines? Divine Feminines, you're receiving clarity as well. This is that illumination. You're receiving peace of mind, you're receiving clarity, and I feel like a lot of that is because you're focusing on your pentacles. You're focusing on yourself. You're focusing on your patch of the garden, and that is helping you to detach. You know that this is unfolding. You know that there is this sincerity. You know that there's this tangible offer that's coming in. You know that there's this connection here, but you're not being bound to it in the way that you were. You're not being confined to it, restricted to it in a way that you were. There's a sense of freedom in this Ace of Swords energy, and I do feel like there's going to be communication that's going to come in from your Divine Masculine that is going to help create more of a sense of freedom for you both. And it's going to be very grounding. It's going to be very clear, and it's going to be something that is going to create more stability for you. But I do feel like you're creating stability for yourself as well. And it's connected to this blessings card. I feel like, again, you're looking at life I feel like you're not looking at this as a form of suffering anymore, as a form of pain. I feel like what you're doing is you're really closing out the cycle of the past, and possibly even the past connection with this Divine Masculine. The past karma that was created. We talked about this a lot on the channel as well, especially for those of you who have been in connection. Karma, when you're going through this healing process together, karma is created between you two. But I feel like you're really closing out that cycle of karma, which was really making you feel blocked within this connection, which was really giving you like a stronghold on this connection. Really making you feel attached, but almost like attached to the toxicity. And what's really happening is that dragon coming in and burning away the toxicity, the dragon coming in and burning away the karma, so that all that's remaining is the blessings, is the love, is the harmony. That's this clarity that's coming in for you, and it's creating more stability for you. Tower, yeah, this is enlightenment. This is a revelation. This is clarity that's coming in. It doesn't feel like a crumbling down. It doesn't feel like it feels like a breakthrough. It feels like the closing, the ending of that self-deception for this Ten of Pentacles, for a new door to open. Look at this, the Seven of Pentacles, or Seven of Swords and Seven of Swords. The ending of the toxicity, the ending of the attachment, so that you can welcome in this Ten of Pentacles energy, which is harmony, which is balance, which is stability, which is love, which is relationship, which is your wishes fulfilled, which is magic. Magic being brought down to the physical plane. And so with this Tower here, it doesn't feel like a crumbling down. It just feels like a breath of relief. It feels like you're really closing the door on that past cycle with your Divine Masculine, so you can move into this next phase of your life. Remember, we talked about that in the channel messages. You're really leveling up. You're really moving into the next phase, but you have to leave the past behind. You have to close that door. And I feel like that's what this is. For some, if you're in resistance to that, for some, it might feel like a Tower moment, but that Tower moment is going to bring immense clarity and victory and a sense of relief to you. It's almost like, I'm going to give you an example. It's almost like this cold that I had was a Tower moment for me, because I was down and out for about 2 weeks, you know, and there were situations, especially with my Divine Masculine, that brought about major revelations that helped me close the door on the past. That is helping me to move forward on my journey towards my blessings, towards my happiness, to recognize the blessings. I had a revelation one evening where I just felt overwhelmed with gratitude and love for my Divine Masculine, and I said, thank you for loving me, thank you for allowing me the blessing of loving you, thank you for creating this family with us, thank you for, you know, the lessons, thank you for the experiences. And in a way, I was letting my Divine Masculine go. I believe he's my Divine Masculine. I believe we'll be reunited. I believe we'll come back together in this relationship, in this harmony. But what I was letting go of was the past, was the past version of our relationship, was the past version of even who I was, the past version of myself, so that I can move into this next cycle for myself, so that I could level up in my power and my divinity. This was me recognizing my transformation. And in order to recognize my transformation, I had to let go of the past version of myself. And I had to let go of the past version of myself in this relationship. So when I say letting go, I know that really triggers a lot of us. You're not letting go of your masculine. You're not letting go of the love. You're not even letting go of the relationship. You're not letting go of the desire. You're letting go of the attachment. You're letting go of the control. You're letting go of who you were, your old self. You're letting go of your old life. And you have to do that if you want to level up, if you want to ascend, if you want to move into this 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups energy. If you truly want that harmony, if you truly want that love, if you truly want that balance and stability, you have to let go of the instability that was there before. I feel like there's something else. Let's see what else there is. Anything else? Divine Feminines. You have to let go of the heartbreak. Yep, and Justice on the bottom. And there's that Two of Swords. You have to let down your guard as well. Clarity is coming in for you. This is justice for the heartbreak. Justice is coming in for the heartbreak that you have felt. This is the blessings. This is a seasons of blessings. This heartbreak, this heartache is healing. It is over. Justice is being restored, not only to you, but to your connection. And you see how she's holding a sword here? This is that sword of truth. This is that clarity. This is that victory. This is that stability that's coming in. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Really heavy, you guys. But not heavy in like a toxic or negative way. Just heavy as in there is a lot that is happening right now. But it is clearing the way for more harmony, for more balance, for more justice, for more blessings, for beautiful, harmonious relationship to take place. So keep having faith. Keep hanging in there. Keep doing the healing work. Keep doing the clearing. Keep doing the releasing. And keep, most importantly, they're saying, keep tapping into your heart space and to your own intuition to follow the guidance for your own beautiful inner journey. All right, you guys, that's going to be it. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light. Feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in a booking. I will be starting taking bookings again for next week. For personal readings, and we'll be back for more collective readings coming up soon. So much love, so much light. We'll see you soon. Bye.